had to give lidocaine with a hypodermic needle. I mean, that is very, very, very painful for the patient.
I remember a day that I had to decide who goes to theater. Once I made that decision, 2 mothers died.
When you look at their application, without more, on the face of it, it is not only insufficient, it raises no triable issues, it has very little weight, okay, to sway this court. And secondly, it's vexatious because it lacks good faith, it is intended to annoy, to embarrass, and has no specific practical result. Having submitted thus, their application lacks any merit. It is an abuse of the court process, it is lacking in merit, and it needs to be dismissed. Not just dismissed, my lady, but dismissed with costs.
I was very happy that you offered last week that had these parties directed you to assist them, you would have. And the assistance you can offer them, my lady, is not jailing them, because you have already issued the sentence. It's directing the persons responsible to be able to provide this court as ordered here with what they have done to make sure that these officials and doctors all over the country go back to work. That, my lady, would be justice to everyone.
Leadership, today we are not talking about negotiations. That is not what is before your leadership. Leadership, very specific. What is before your leadership is contempt of court. That is the final. We cannot look elsewhere. Why we say so? It's because what is on trial is the supremacy of the law. That is what is on trial.
My lady would request for timelines to be met, to be given, and timelines for them to be met. This court direct negotiations to be structured, either by appointing a mediator who is agreeable to all parties, and giving guidelines as indicated in that order on when or how the talks should be structured, who sits at the table, and those things that will enable parties to quickly reach a resolve.
Well, having accepted to hear the application for review, this court has an obligation to also render a judgment or a ruling to the application that is before it. And I will therefore render a ruling on the 3rd February, that will be on Friday this week. And in the meantime, I'll still suspend the sentence to that date.
Having 10 incubators in number, but you can see most of them, they are empty. We cannot say the strike has not affected us. This one has affected everybody, even economy. Even Mama Mboga outside there, they are not selling anything because the patients, the workers, they are not there. So we will urge if the government can do anything to end this strike. People are suffering.
We need to increase the number of doctors so that we can have enough doctors to serve Kenyans. You see, what county governments are now doing is they are saying we have enough doctors, but we know why they are saying that. It's because the resources they have been given by the government is limited. Challenges we face are there every single day. You cannot say in isolation that a day can go without you facing a challenge, but we've seen many, okay? So, I remember a day that I had to decide who goes to theater. And the reason I'm saying that is because you have 4 or 5 or 6 mothers who all of them need emergency cesarean section, all at the same time. All who could lose a life, either them or the kid. But remember, for us, that decision is a matter of life and death. So you stand there, the nurse is looking at you and telling you, daktari, nani ndiye ataingia theater wa kwanza? So remember, the one you choose, you've left 4 with an option that they might die. These are decisions you make and you have to live with them. And you see, if we had the capacity, like where I'm talking of, had like 2 theaters, but at night only 1 theater because there's only 1 anesthetist. So I had to choose. I had to choose, and it's not because I had to choose emotionally. You have to make a clinical decision. From the history and clinical exam, you decide this one is the most worse. Let me start with that. But I remember once I made that decision, 2 mothers died.
I remember one experience that I had. We were in Nandi Hills Sub-County Hospital. No dental syringes. We had to give lidocaine with a hypodermic needle. I mean, that is very, very, very painful for the patient. So the discomfort was extreme. That's number 1. Number 2, we could only extract teeth. We didn't have any materials to do any other procedure. We were just extracting teeth, which unfortunately we were not following protocol to even properly manage patients. And personally, an experience I had last year when I was 6 months pregnant, I pricked myself when I was giving an injection, when I was giving anesthesia. And I had to choose between taking PEP, which has very many side effects. My mind was thinking about my baby, and I actually worked until I was 37 weeks pregnant. And because of complications, I went to deliver. But it's unfortunate that we have to work in such conditions.
So it is not that they are asking for their own benefits, like improving the facilities in the hospitals. It cuts across because all the workers would like to work in a comfortable environment. Because it seems as if the communities are comfortable. They are not complaining, yet they are suffering from home. Our leaders, the churches, they are not even complaining. So Kenyans, we need to come together.
Band.